Ever since I was a kid, I experienced some issues in my development. I always knew that I was different, but I could never quite understand why I didn't act like everybody else did. In elementary school, there was something clearly different about me compared to the other students in regards to my academics. In fact, there was one instance back in elementary school where I'd be working at my desk while our teacher was teaching us, and while doing so, I'd be playing with toys on my desk, and my teacher thought I wasn't paying attention, even though I was. It just didn't look like it. So she'd call on me and ask me to answer the question, thinking that I'd get it wrong, and I'd get it right. And that's when she kind of knew that there was something wrong with me, but we could never pinpoint what it was. Every year, my school held annual parent-teacher conferences. My teacher expressed concerns about my studies to my parents at one of mine back in elementary school. And back then, I didn't really conceptualize that there was a problem. So looking back on it, it really wouldn't make sense for my mother to take me to tutoring in the middle of the summer, but I never got onto that. They were testing me to see if I had any learning disabilities. My ADD went undiagnosed until 5th grade. I was 10 years old at the time. After being diagnosed, I was prescribed medication, which, once I started taking the medication, things began to change. My usual illegible handwriting became one of the most clear handwritings you've ever seen. My focus shifted from my extracurriculars to focusing solely on school. Although I saw an increase in my academics, everything else in my life began to fall apart. I wasn't doing well at soccer anymore, my aggression was gone, to the point where my coach noticed. I had a hard time keeping an interest in social interaction with my peers, my friends, my best friends, my family, anyone really. I found myself losing every part of what used to make me, me. At first, I thought maybe this was just a phase that I was going through. I thought maybe this was who I actually was becoming, who I was, but it wasn't. It was my medication suppressing my personality. I was irritable all the time, which really had an effect on me and everyone around me. This continued all throughout my schooling years. I struggled to grow into myself properly. I didn't know who I was, and I didn't know who I was supposed to be. I was two different people on and off my medications, so it got pretty confusing. My medication made it really difficult to be happy. Being happy was a fundamental trait of my personality prior to me being prescribed medication for my ADD. I didn't realize how my medication had such a drastic effect on me until high school, after therapy. I went to therapy because of the depression and anxiety that I developed on my medication. It wasn't until recently that I decided I didn't want to continue taking my medicine. After being on it for around 7 years, I was sick and tired of its power over me in controlling my personality. Now, I only take my medication when I absolutely need it. So far, I'm doing well in my classes, and my attitude has shifted significantly. And honestly, one of the best things I have ever done for myself is to stop taking my medication. In doing so, I've been able to be more in touch with myself and my happy personality and reestablishing things that make me happy. My whole outlook on life has shifted simply by changing that one aspect of my life. To not only be a more positive person, but I'm able to be the person who spreads that positivity to those around me. I've noticed these effects it has on the people around me. Whenever my energy is good, the people around me tend to feed off of it. Overall, making our time together more enjoyable. There are things in life that may be holding us back that we don't realize. This is true for many aspects of life, especially attitude, and I'm beyond grateful to have this opportunity in life to reflect on my negative years, learn from my mistakes, and go out into this world and spread my positivity. I'm not only blessed to have experienced both sides of this issue, but I'm grateful to have overcome the negativity, both mentally and physically. I figured out what the source of my negativity was, and I'm happy to say that I've overcome it.